Broadcasting live from the Temple of the False God on the Plane of Dominaria, this is Tap Tap Concede. See, we've run out of Theros temples.
That's just a cardboard cutout of Xenagos. You push it right over.
This god's not real at all. Who's responsible for this?
Wait,
what kind of madness?
Am I on Game for a Laugh? Where's the camera?
It's right there.
Wow.
There's actually a camera. Yeah. So, hey
Why
everybody.
why is there a stranger sitting next to
I
me?
was going to say, welcome to Tap Tap Concede.
I just wandered in off the street.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yay!
Is that how we
I'm-
cast this place thing now? Oh, God.
I'm Graham.
I'm
and
James.
That's James, and that's Alex.
Alex.
And this is
Craig.
who viewers of our Magic streams will know as the chat mod Nirvana. And he was one of our Kickstarter backers.
Yes.
Who gets to hang out with us for a day. And we're like, well, heck, you like Magic.
Might as well put you to work.
We'll get you in the podcast. Why not? Which is not to say that other people necessarily will or won't be in podcasts. Who knows? But Craig is. So for today's Tap Tap Concede, we're going to start off with a crack-a-pack. Alex is going to tell us about something that he just...
I think made up from the bowels of his brain.
A little bit. It's mostly made up.
Yeah.
It's like
it is entirely made up.
it's like the smallest cube ever. It's really cool.
It's so cute.
And then we're going to look at your designs for cards based on the last boss of Microsoft Excel.
For which there are a lot.
Yeah. So first, let's crack a pack. Craig, you want to roll the D10?
Make it awesome.
I
So-
really want that top pack. I'm not going to
No,
lie.
we
did.
did.
No.
Wait, you have to take that out. We did that
We did-
last week.
I know, and I replaced it with another one.
Oh.
We've got 6 more of them.
No.
So-
My main man's in that set, and I
So
wanted a...
a 1 is a homelands, and a 10 is a reroll because we've only got 9 packs right now. But we do have people who are sending us some packs. We have more on the way.
Sweet.
So roll it up.
3.
Thank
3.
God.
All right.
Damn it,
Homelands,
missed the whammy.
Visions, Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yay.
I'm excited.
This is one of my favorite sets.
Really?
Overall, of all time. Spiritmonger, Pernicious Deed,
Oh man,
Vindicate.
there could be sweet stuff in here.
There could be
Yeah,
some
I'm
real
pulling
good
up.
stuff.
I'm pulling up the price guide. See how we do.
This one doesn't have any specific flavor text for Apocalypse. It just says, in this
The
strategy game, you play with decks of illustrated cards instead of a board. These collectible cards represent magical spells and fantastic creatures.
Magical spells.
This is where
Magical
Wizards
spells.
got sick of Urza's BS and
Yeah.
evicted
Like,
him
okay.
from the game.
Let's be real here.
All right,
All
let's
right.
do this.
First card.
Commons, we're looking for Temporal Spring. It's worth 16 cents.
Ooh. All right, what about
It is very good.
what about Tidal Courier?
No.
Not
That's
right.
the only comment on this list.
Could be relevant in Merfolk. Let's find out. It is a 1/2 Merfolk for 3 and a blue.
Okay.
It's also an uncommon.
I would never play that.
When Tidal Courier comes into play, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all Merfolk cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. And randomly, for 3 and a blue, Tidal Courier gains flying until end of turn.
So this is interesting. The first card in the pack is an uncommon.
Yeah, I think they're organized uncommons, rare, commons.
Yeah, I believe that's how it is.
Oh,
So I'm
interesting.
actually going to switch to the back of the pack now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spoil the rare.
And the Courier was part of a cycle at the time because there's equivalents for Goblin, Zombie.
The Goblin one's still relevant, isn't it?
Which one
Yeah,
is
it is. Goblin Ringleader, I think it was
Oh
called.
man, that thing's nuts.
Yeah, but Merfolk...
And there was an elf one.
The Merfolk one seems garbage.
Yeah.
Why the random flying? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I
Don't
don't
worry-
think
don't worry
Merfolk
about
fly,
it.
But no, Goblin Ringleader is like an MVP in Goblins.
All right, let's do this.
Whitehead Soldier's Firecall.
All right,
Cool.
going to the commons. Quagmire Druid. He is a 2/2 for 2 and a black.
Okay.
Seems
That's
fine.
Not the worst.
Not for this block.
For a green and tap and sack a creature, destroy target enchantment.
Hey, I don't know.
It doesn't seem that bad.
Well, I mean, it's a gray ogre.
It is a gray ogre.
All right, moving on.
All right.
It has a creature type.
Living Airship.
What?
Oh God, this one's. I know that this card's terrible.
Yeah.
It is a 2/3 flyer for 3 and a blue. Creature ship.
Yep.
What's
Does that
your
make sense?
subtype? Ship.
For 2 and a green, regenerate living airship.
That's
What's
so
the? I
bad.
think Paul's got the oracle.
It has been oracled, so its creature is now creature Metathran.
What?
What?
What's a Metathran?
Metathran were the soldiers Urza made to fight the war. There was a few
And
of
there's
them in
Metathran
Urza's
on
block.
the art.
Oh, okay. So they're like
They're like clone soldiers,
magic
basically.
zombies.
Because I believe
Attack
ship,
of the Clones.
I believe ship is no longer a creature type. Like it's not used for anything anymore.
Darn.
No, because
Like-
it's not,
Like ghost ship is now a ghost as opposed
or
to
a spirit.
A spirit.
A spirit
Yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah,
a ship.
and reef pirates are
Because
human, I
they're
think.
inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Well,
So we've got a black card and a blue card that both have green activated abilities.
Yeah,
I've
that's
only
fun.
seen the multicolored theme
Yeah.
in this block.
Well, Evasion and Plane Shift were both the allied colors part of this block, and then Apocalypse was the enemy colors back before that was a regular thing. This was kind of the first set where being the enemy colors wasn't considered a detriment. It was actually something that was used productively.
So this is the wedge of blue, black, and green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right.
Here we go. Secret Commander tech. Tranquil Path. 4 and a green, sorcery, destroy all enchantments.
All right.
And draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I would play that in a multiplayer format.
Yep.
I mean, it's no Fracturing Gust, but
I love Fracturing Gust. Fracturing Gust has got me out of more tight binds in Commander. Fracturing Gust, by the way, is, if I recall correctly, it's like 2 and then 3 Selesnya mana. And it's destroy all artifacts and enchantments, and you gain 2 life for each thing destroyed.
seems pretty good in multiplayer.
Pretty
Yep.
cool. All right. Kavu Glider.
All right.
It's 2 and a red for a 2/1 Kavu. But this particular Kavu, for a white, gets +0/+1 until end of turn. So it gets butt breathing. Remember we decided
Butt breathing.
we decided
just
that
call
was
it
called
farting.
We decided that was called butt breathing.
Wow.
And for a blue, it gains flying until end of turn. Because it can't fly, it just glides.
Weird random Angel Fire card.
Yeah. So
Okay.
All right.
I guess like Kavu were relevant.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
They were.
Relatively speaking,
They were
yeah.
a tribe. I mean, obviously FTK is the only one that anyone cares about now.
Yup.
But Kavu were relevant at the time.
Oh.
Shimmering Mirage.
Womp.
1 and a blue for an instant. Target land's type becomes the basic land type of your choice until the end of turn. Draw a card.
What? No. Make that go away.
Strictly worse.
Stop reading that
than-
card. Stop touching
well,
that
it's not
card.
strictly worse than.
It's a
but
nice
it's
Rebecca
like-
Guayard, at least. Or Rebecca Gay.
What was the There's a card that's like that, only good. It was in standard for a while. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's the one that turns a land into an island, and then
Spreading Seas.
that's the one.
As an enchantment, yeah.
There you go.
But that was permanent.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Orem's Thunder.
Ooh, this is a good
I
one.
love this card.
2 and a white. Instant. With a kicker of a single red. So destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Disenchant.
If you pay the kicker, Orem's Thunder deals damage equal to that artifact or enchantment's converted mana cost to target creature.
Wow,
It's-
that's sweet.
It's
That-
a 2-for-1.
That card's
card,
awesome.
No, that card
I dig it.
is good.
It goes in every deck that I have that can possibly play it.
Raka Disciple is a 1/1 for 1 red. Creature wizard. For a blue and tap, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. For a white and tap, prevent the damage.
I was gonna say.
For a blue and tap, target creature gains flying until end of turn. So it's in the same sort of
They did a cycle
weird-
of those guys. Like the Disciples all had 2 activated abilities. And
of the other
the wedge colors.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and there was a rare version of it as well that had activated. They're each 2/2s for 2 colors and 2 of that color, and then there'd be like 2 white and 2 blue to do other abilities as well.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
There we go. Garth's Glare.
this has great art.
Awesome art. This is a sorcery for a single red. Look at the top 3 cards of target opponent's library, then put them back in any order. That player looks at the top 3 cards of your librry, then puts them back in any order.
What?
That's
No! Put that away. Stop. Stop
so you,
this.
So you ponder each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Except
the,
you don't
I
get
like
to
the
draw.
flavor.
Yeah, you don't get. That's weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good, but it's fun.
Where are the good cards?
see.
Is Zombie Boa a good card? Because we have a Zombie Boa.
I doubt it,
Is
but
a
sure.
3/3 zombie snake for 4 and a black. For 1 and a black, choose a color. Whenever Zombie Boa
Purple.
becomes blocked by a creature of that color this turn, destroy that creature.
Wow.
Play
All
this
right.
ability only any time you could play a sorcery.
Oh God! What?
Wow.
So-
Doesn't even give itself death touch.
That's so bad.
It's
Yeah.
like I have death touch for this color. Now
Well,
I
no,
will
it's-
attack.
it's, I have either death touch or can't be blocked. Your choice, opponent.
Yeah. No, that's bad.
Nope.
All right.
What do we
Seriously, good card.
Set a Disciple. 1/1 for 1 blue. This is the blue Disciple. For a red and tap, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn.
got? Seems fine.
For a
Okay.
green and tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So it
I
filters.
mean, sure. I mean, it's
a
still a
little weird.
1/1 for 1, so.
Angel Fire Crusader. 3 and a white for a 2/3. Yeah. Angel Fire Crusader. Oh, and it has fire breathing. So for a single red, Angel Fire Crusader gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Oh, sorry, Paul's catching up.
Whoops.
Sorry, Paul, we're moving too fast. There's
All these cards are terrible, so we don't want to talk about them for very long.
wait, there's the Angel Fire Crusader. Nothing burns hotter than the fires of holy rage. All right.
All right.
Now we're back to the uncommon. So Titled Courier again.
Alright, got
Okay.
We got
Ooh,
that.
it's a gold card.
Ooh.
I wouldn't get that excited.
Oh,
Martyr's Tomb.
sounds cool.
2 white black.
Okay, I like the color. I like Orzhov.
Pay 2 life.
I don't really like that. Wait, what kind of card is it?
It's an enchantment.
Okay.
Pay
So-
2 life.
Okay, so I put it down as enchantment. I pay 2 life.
Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn.
What is that garbage?
The art is fantastic.
Oh,
That is like
It looks really cool.
horrendous.
It's
You
bad,
need to save your creatures, I guess.
right?
I at the expense of just you dying sooner or later. It's like I pay 2 life. I pay 2 life. I pay 2 life. You died. Oh well, at least my creatures are made it.
So Cam has a commander deck with Chromat
Yeah.
as the commander, he's all 5 colors, that commander. So you can basically Cam's just playing a 5-color commander deck, and he has this cycle. This is the Ana Sanctuary. Ana is one of the wedges. So it's a 2 and a green for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a blue or black permanent, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
Okay.
If you control a blue permanent and a black permanent, that creature gets +5/+5 until end of turn. So all these sanctuaries, they're each monocolored, and they check against the 2 opposing colors. And it's if you control a permanent of one color or
You get
the
a
other, you get a thing.
And
If you control a permanent of both, you get now. And the thing is, it's they can be I believe they can be the same permanent.
Okay.
Yes, they can. If it's multicolored, it will count as both. Like the white-black one.
yeah.
Would,
I'm curious, yeah, because it says if you control a blue permanent and a black permanent. I don't think they have to be different. But
it doesn't. I ran a deck with all the sanctuaries before.
exactly, Night Veil
Yeah.
Spectre, yeah.
How
So-
did you do that?
Magic.
No, he just literally grabbed a stack of cards, and the specter was right there. Like
yeah,
that's
I
exactly
may have cut to that.
that was insane.
Pretty weird.
Judge?
I'm not cheating.
All right, sorry.
So, yeah, the sanctuaries are all really cool because it's like you get an effect and you're like, oh, all right. Or you get a really good effect.
Yeah.
Like I think the
cool.
white one is like some incidental life gain, and it's like, oh, okay. But if you have both, it's quite a lot of life,
I think it was
Gain
2 life or 4 life if you had both conditions.
I think. But the thing is, he's got Chromat, which counts for everything, right? So it's like if he's got his commander out, it's just.
It's
Well-
just always getting maximum value.
Because the red one was 1 damage or 3 damage.
I think Paul's pulling up the other ones here.
Okay.
So the white one, can you tell us what that one does, Paul?
Yeah, the white one is black and red permanent, and you get 2 life or 4 life.
Nice.
Decent.
Let's see what the other ones are here.
Oh,
The red one I think was just like direct damage to.
Creatures only. It wouldn't hit players.
Probably not. One sec. Paul's just finding them all. Okay,
the blue one.
Blue
What
one.
does
Right,
it kinda
the
check against?
blue one looks for red or green, and you draw a card. So if you control red or green permanent, and you have to draw a card and discard a card. If you control both a red or green permanent, you draw 2 cards, then discard a card.
Wow.
That's
Oh
sweet.
wow! So you loot or you
Loot and draw.
loot and draw.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Except but you get to discard after you've drawn the 2.
Yes.
That's really good. So you draw and loot actually. Wow. That's really good.
The red one was Raka Sanctuary, if that helps.
I think he's just looking for sanctuaries. Oh, Gesundheit. Kathleen's sitting off camera.
Boom.
All right, so here's the Raka Sanctuary. Yeah, if you control a white or blue permanent, it does 1 damage to a creature. If you control a white and a blue permanent, it does 3 damage to a creature.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
It's really good. So
And that's just, it does it for free every turn. right?
multiplayer commander or multicolor commander decks take note. And then the black one.
And the black one, if you control a green or a white permanent, target player loses 1 life. If you control a green and a black, target player loses 3 life.
Sweet.
You know, speaking of 5-color commander cards, how much you want to guess Sliver Queen is now?
I don't know. Because
Last
it's on the reserve list, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Last I checked, I think it was 35.
It's 50.
50.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's bonkers.
All right, what's our rare?
The rare is Cavu Mauler.
Well, that's not on my list though.
Oh.
That means it's worth less than 70 or less than 40
It is
cents.
a
yeah.
4/4 with trample
Okay.
for 4 green.
Okay.
Whenever Cavu Mauler attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other attacking Cavu. Yeah.
Jeez.
That could
Well,
be better.
you said Cavus were relevant, and here we are.
Yeah. He's killing like a spider person. So that's kind of cool.
Crunch.
All right, so this pack was kind of disappointing, or maybe it's just the
Turtle
set's
pack.
disappointing. I don't know.
Well, you were saying beforehand that there's like some like Vindicate was in this set.
yeah, I mean, there's
Vindicate's
some
in
cool
here.
stuff in there.
Spiritmonger, Pernicious Deed were the big 3 at the time that were in here. But unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, that terrible Orzhov
The
card
law
is
of
that
variances.
terrible Orzhov card just makes
Well,
me very
Martyr's
sad.
Tomb.
That's just terrible. Yeah, there's no
Could
getting
have
around
been
that.
Vindicate.
Yeah, you could have been Vindicate.
Was it uncommon?
Yep.
No.
Oh, Vindicate was rare.
No, it was
Okay.
rare, but
Yeah.
just
Just
a
blow up
multicolored.
anything.
Mystic Snake was in here.
Yep.
Oh, Mystic
Oh,
Snake
Mystic
is so
Snake's so good.
good.
Mystic Snake is sweet.
Wow.
Man, I should put that in this pile.
But no, instead we get Garth's Glare.
But hey, speaking of this pile,
Hi. So,
Yeah, this is something we wanted to talk about.
This is-
So, did you make this up? Did you get this from
Sort
somewhere
of.
else? Sort of.
I sourced a couple of different ideas that have been floating around. Like, there's a couple of goofy casual formats that we will play every once in a while, including Mass, DC 10, Mental Magic. And these are all, like, insane weirdo formats. And to, like, briefly go through them, I think... And there's, like, sort of little variants on each of them. I believe DC 10 is you both have 10 life. You pick a random pile of cards. You have unlimited mana of all colors. You can play 1 card per turn, and you just fight.
yeah.
So we played it once where we just grabbed all the dollar rares and split them up into 2 piles and just fought, and it was hilarious.
This is like at the store.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
like the most casual of casual formats because it's like
No,
whatever.
that's what we're here for.
And
Even
then,
though James and I went on a tear about Born of the Gods draft a couple weeks ago.
Nice. And then Mental Magic is a little similar. You get another random pile of cards. You can play any card face down as a 5-color multi-land with all basic types. And then you can play... This is really weird. You can play cards as any card in the history of Magic with the same converted mana cost as the card that you physically have.
Yeah.
Converted mana cost?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
And
Oh wait, no.
no,
isn't
no,
it-
the exact mana cost.
Yeah. Exact,
Okay,
not
so
converted.
this, for example, this Steward of Valor on here.
Yeah, you could play that as a Selesnya charm.
Or a Watchwolf. Or,
Or a Watchwolf,
a
yeah.
Fleeceman Lion.
Yeah.
It casts for a single green and a single white.
And you can't cast the same spell twice in a game.
Yeah.
Between you and your opponent. So if your
But
opponent casts something, you're
Overall,
locked out.
you
Okay.
could like if they get like peak and are like Ancestral Recall, you're like, well, I'm not casting Ancestral Recall this game.
It's a weird format.
It's pretty weird. And then there was one more that I was talking about is Mass.
Wait. Quick question about Mental Magic. Judge,
Yeah.
can you use a land as a to suspend Ancestral Vision? Because Ancestral Vision has no casting cost.
I don't know. What is the casual ruling on suspend cards?
I don't think there is one. Keep
Yeah.
going.
I think Mass is the same as Mental Magic, but you play the cards as what they are. So I kind of wanted to make an experience that was similar to, some of these goofy formats, and also like Halflander, because I'm a big fan of the format Highlander, which we've talked about on previous podcasts. And sometimes when people are just sitting around, one person hasn't brought their deck or doesn't have a deck, you'll just take your deck and either split it in half or just stick it in the middle, and you'll both play off of it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty weird and
Yes.
a lot of fun. So
what have you done here?
I have made a 100 card Mass, which is also sort of like the world's smallest cube.
Yeah, it's a Cubelet.
It's a Cubelet. That's a great name for it, actually. The Cubelet.
Yeah.
It's 100 cards, 14 of each color, 3 of each guild, no artifacts and no lands. And you play it sort of with the Mental Magic land rule, where you can play any card face down as a 5-color basic.
Yeah.
You both play off 1 library. It's 20 life, and you just go at it.
Yeah.
And it's so fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Like you and me just did a really quick game before the podcast.
Yeah, because I've curated it in the way that you would curate like a cube, with a couple of like my own sort of personal ideas. Like there's no search effects. I'm trying to go for interesting cards over powerful cards.
Yep.
It's like this deck, this mass doesn't play Lightning Bolt because it's like,
I mean,
it's really good.
Yeah.
It's also one-dimensional. So it's like, why play Lightning Bolt when you can play Rift Bolt?
yeah.
Which is fundamentally the same card, but a little more interesting.
Yep.
There's also little sub-themes. Like I'm trying to have one card of like each thing that each color does. Like there's one red burn everything spell, like a red haste guy. There's the green guy who gains you life. There's like the green fight card.
And you've got some like very powerful cards in here,
Yep.
but they're not like
They're not nuts.
and they're not like stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
The deck is budget-ish. Like
Yeah.
there's a couple of, like $10, $15 cards in there, and there's a few more that I want to add into it. But you could build this mass really cheap, like really, really cheap, because then you just like you pick your favorite cards in all those colors, and what I've tried to do is sort of like make a few more creatures than spells and kind of spread the converted mana cost out a little bit, so you have like a nice variety, and then just you have some really weird games. You could probably also draft this as an actual cube, like Winston between 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it would have to be 2.
mm-hmm.
Have to be 2 people. But the I like the James, you were saying that after the game you then get to flip all your land over.
Yeah,
and,
that's a fun-
and take a look at what the both of you decided to play as land
Yeah.
versus playing them as spells.
It's interesting.
Which
I
is
mean,
a great way to think about what cards you could be changing, because if something's always played as a land,
then maybe
you'd
it's
probably
not.
make it a better card.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those situations where,
So I've just drawn 7 here.
Let's see
So
what we
my
got.
hand is Kiora's Follower, Oblivion Ring, Fleshbag Marauder, Bituminous Blast, Dimir Charm, Blightning, and Lingering Souls.
I think you're probably a control deck this time.
It looks like it, yeah. So let me see here.
I don't know, man.
It's
It's tough.
uh,
See, the decisions
yeah,
are really
like
hard.
and that's what I was gonna say. It's like,
because the one thing I really like about this format is you are never land screwed.
correct.
However, you need to make your choices very careful what you
Yeah.
play as land, because the thing like
I think I'm probably playing the Kiora's Follower as land.
probably
Yeah,
Because then I can have Dimir Charm up on turn 2.
or
and
you
I can go like
or you can
I can go like
lightning.
Lingering Souls or Blightning on the next turn. Oh yeah, Hand Attack.
Yep,
Oh
it's pretty good.
yeah.
I'll just watch out for that Obstinate Baloth.
Oh, right, he's in there too. I saw him. So I was like,
So-
play that. Next turn, I'll draw an Azorius Charm.
Technically, you wouldn't draw that. You would draw the next card.
Oh, that's
whatever
true.
it is, but yeah.
I'll draw Frostburn Weird.
Yeah, maybe that guy goes down as land. You hold up Dimir Charm.
Yeah. Counter something maybe if I'm lucky.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, wow, this is really
Absolutely
Right?
something you should check out.
Yeah.
Well,
so
so I'm looking at it. I'm seeing the follower, and I'm thinking I could actually play that, and that serves as another land essentially. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
It's
ramp
true.
with
So that
that
way it
guy,
actually
and then
keeps another card in my hand. I don't have to drop
so
as
it's-
a land.
it's super fun, super casual. Like it's lightning fast to play. There's little things that I've added to the card selection to make it play like really efficiently and fun. There's no search effects. I might even reduce the number of like filter effects, so it's like there's fewer like decisions you have to agonize over apart from like picking lands and stuff like that. And like there's no planeswalkers. I might expand it a little bit to have a few artifacts and maybe some lands, but
You should put planeswalkers in.
that's a terrible idea, James.
Nah, it's fine. Just
Run
one of each.
put Tybalt.
No, well, no. You put the worst planeswalker from each color in.
Oh wow!
So what's
So
The worst
The first
planeswalker?
Nisa?
okay, so
Tybalt?
Tybalt
Red.
gets in for red.
Oh god!
What's the worst?
The worst blue planeswalker
Worst
is like 5 mana Jace.
The what? Memory Adept?
Yeah,
Is it?
I think.
What
it
other
is.
blue planeswalkers are there?
Tameo.
Jace.
Tameo's-
Jace, Tameo.
Yeah, it's just
Is that it?
Tezzeret.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, original Tezzeret.
Tezzeret's really good.
Yeah,
though.
Tez
like
is pretty
he's
good.
powerful.
All right, so
And-
5
But
mana.
that has a tutor effect attached to it, so
Actually, yeah, 5 mana Jace is a complete nombo with this format because you don't want to mill your opponent out because
you're just milling yourself.
Your
Yeah.
library
There's
too.
some pretty awkward plays.
Okay, so
with,
so Jace gets in.
Okay.
So Memory Adept, right?
Yeah.
That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so Memory
so
Adept,
green
Tibble.
is Nissa. Probably.
Green, I guess, would be Nissa because I think
Ugh.
any Garrick is going to be. Garricks are
Every
all
single
pretty
Garrick
good.
is amazing.
Yeah.
What does Nissa even do? I don't remember.
She like tutors for Nissa's Chosen and gains life.
All right.
Yeah.
Red.
This is chosen in that deck, though.
Yeah, there's no Nissa's chosen
The
in the deck.
white
Good point.
one,
there'd have to be one added.
is there
yeah.
like Bad Elspeth?
No.
There's been
No, there's
3
not.
Elspeths. There's been 3
There's
Ajani.
there's
I was gonna say the
less
first
there's
Ajani
less
actually
good
isn't-
Ajani, but he's still really
He's still
good.
pretty good. And what about Black? Like
Lily of the Dark Realms.
Oh yeah,
Lily
Liliana
of
Dark Realms,
Realms,
Windmill
yeah.
Slam.
Yeah.
Although that's a weird combo because all your lands are swamps.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
But again,
that's
she
what I'm
tutors
thinking.
too.
She goes looking for a swamp, but you can't. Go
But you
find
can't.
it.
You can't look for a swamp.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like, I find this Selesnya charm. It's a swamp.
It's like, oh god, demonic tutor every turn.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay,
pretty
so maybe
powerful.
don't add planeswalkers.
It's too, it's too complex.
They're a little awkward.
Don't do that.
Okay.
This is really cool. I like this a lot.
It's super fun.
It seems like
So,
a really like fun, and
Yeah.
you could use it for like. Honestly, I think it's a great. I mean, you've sort of curated this one a little bit more nicely, but I think it'd be a great use for someone's just like random pile of dirt rares.
The first draft of this was literally cards I had lying around, and it was already fine. So it's like if you have a collection that you have a bunch of cards, especially it's like I've always wanted to play this card, but it just never makes the cut in decks. Like
and these aren't even
fling
all.
it in.
And these aren't even all rares. You got Prey Upon, Archetype of Aggression, Vault Scourge.
Skin Shifter, just like fun, interesting, sometimes hilarious cards. I mean, this is the deck that plays Otherworldly Journey,
Yeah.
and like what else do I have in here that's like kind of weird? Snake Form.
Snake Form's awesome.
Snake
though.
Form's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of charms because they're not hard to find and they give you options. Cloud Goat Raptor or Cloud Goat Ranger, and stuff like Noxious Revival instead of Regrowth because it's like that's
Yeah,
a little
I like
more
that.
Weird. Also, like here's a typical example that sort of is like what the cube is like or the mass whatever is Mark of Mutiny instead of like Threaten or something because
Yeah.
it's like I get your guy. But he gets bigger. So
yeah.
I gotta think about that.
yeah.
You
No,
can
it's
also
good.
target your own guy.
That's true.
Not
Sweet.
that you do that very often, but anyway. So, a fun, casual format that doesn't cost a lot of money. Plays real fast.
I like that a lot.
Sweet.
It also works in multiplayer, which is weird.
Really?
We played this with like 4 people, and it was fine. It was goofy, but it was really fun.
Sweet.
So,
Can you post the deck list to the?
yeah, I'm still
forum?
working on it, but I can totally post it.
Just post it sort of as it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right.
So a couple episodes ago, we asked you to come up with cards for the final boss of Microsoft Excel. And there's like 4 pages of this stuff, but there's some very, very good ones that, I mean, I'm sure that we're missing some excellent ones, but we're just going to sort of go through and talk about a couple of them. The very, very first one, which is Dativus, the Spreadsheets Torn, which is an 11/10 for 14 mana and Exceldrazi. When you cast Dativus, you may arrange your library in any order. Puts your library in order.
Seems fair.
It has Hexproof and Annihilator 3. And when it is put into a graveyard from anywhere or leaves the battlefield, its owner shuffles Dativus and his or her library into their, and his or her graveyard into their library. So when it goes away, it ruins everything.
See,
What a mess.
if I were to design a card like that, I would make it like separate all the cards in your deck into types and then play from 5 libraries.
Oh,
Nice.
God.
You may draw from any library.
That's good. I like that, actually.
This one's weird. Clippy, the Papper Clip,
Oh, that guy.
is a 1/1 for 1 legendary artifact creature construct with indestructible first strike and death touch. When it deals damage to a player, untap it. The player dealt damage by Clippy removes an article of clothing. If that player has no clothing left, they lose the game. Because
wow.
you and Beej were playing it new.
Right.
So that was the joke.
That's next level.
Yeah. Let me know, James, if there's anything that you've noticed as well. You should take a look too. There's so many in this thread. It's quite insane. I recommend everyone go and read the thread in the Tap Concede forums. Let's look at Aerith Moai, God of Excel. Is a 5/8 indestructible for 5. As long as your devotion to numbers is less than 7. Aerith Moai, God of Excel, isn't a creature. Creatures you control have for 1. This creature becomes the color of your choice until end of turn. So
Your devotion to numbers.
Yeah.
Actually, devotion to colorless would be pretty interesting.
That'd be weird.
Boss of Excel.
Boss of Excel. Legendary artifact, Spreadsheet Nightmare. There's a 3/3 for 4. Indestructible. At the beginning of your upkeep, assign a color to Boss of Excel. Untap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, tap Boss of Excel. Tap, and Boss of Excel gains Vigilance until end of turn.
What? Mind
For
blown.
1, Boss of Excel gains -1/+1 until end of turn. And for 9 and tap, as an additional price, go topless. An artifact, an opponent gains control of Boss of Excel, and it gains the beginning of your upkeep. Either draw 7 cards and lose 20 life, or draw 7 cards, or discard 7 cards and gain 20 life.
Whoa! Oh wow!
What a mess!
I'm confused.
That's so weird.
What is that one? The one you're...
This one?
Yeah.
Excel, Harbinger of Doom. I actually quite like this one. It's a 5/7 for 4 blue-black with Wither.
Okay.
And if Excel, Harbinger of Doom would deal damage to a player, that instead that player mills for that much.
Interesting.
Right.
So it mills or withers because it's like mental grinding. And it's the designer says, so I went with the mental grinding and sheer agony that long hours in front of an Excel spreadsheet would cause.
Yeah, it's like during your upkeep, tap all permanents you control, and then like mill that many cards.
I like... Okay, so I think this is over on page 3, but this is Excelsior, final boss. So Excelsior, the final boss. 5 and a green for a legendary creature Spreadsheet. It's a star. It says, when Excelsior is in play, all permanents you control must be arranged into a grid. Excelsior's power is equal to the number of rows permanents you control make, and Excelsior's toughness is equal to the number of columns of permanents you make.
That's cool.
That is
And
nice.
for 1 green and tap, put 2 colorless cell artifact tokens onto the battlefield. That was probably my favorite.
That's
I
awesome.
really like that.
I like the idea of
So
you
funny.
arrange your entire battlefield, your side of the battlefield, into a grid.
So can you
But-
arrange
so you
your
could-
battlefield
you could-
as an instant, or only?
But yeah,
as
you
a
could have
sorcery?
like a 2. You could have like
You could make the grid whatever you want.
2 columns and like 5 rows.
Yeah.
and you'd be a 2/5, or you
Or
can
5
have
columns
a
and
5/2,
rows.
and have it. But then you get extra permanents. Out of
permanents,
it.
which theoretically you can arrange
Change.
however you want.
I would like the addition that of like
Arrange your
saying
board
when
only as
and
a
how you
sorcery?
can arrange only as a sorcery.
The way that we did it,
Well,
because we
I mean,
had
it says. Oh no! It actually just says when Excelsior is in play, all permanents you control must be arranged into a grid. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
say.
you'd have to have something in there for changing it.
Yeah, I
right?
think like every or like maybe during your upkeep.
Because if you're getting
you may
more
rearrange.
permanents, yeah.
You have to.
We
Yeah.
used to allow a friend of ours to play with Chaos Orb. And the rule that we had was that you casts it, everyone has this one opportunity to redistribute their board as they wish. But as soon as it's laid, you're stuck with however you've left it. And then the Chaos Orb can do whatever it wants to do from there.
Oh, Chaos Orb.
This is one I just wanted to share just because it's very, very, very silly and I love a good pun.
Mm-hmm.
Spreading sheets.
Ooh, nice. I like this.
No, it gets better. It's on the first page. 1 and a blue, enchantment aura, enchant land. When spreading sheets enters the battlefield, draw a card.
Okay.
Enchanted land is a visual basic island.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
Very
I also
good.
like how that's a play on scrying sheets.
What a great pun,
All right,
though.
so this
Nice.
is
Great
another
pun.
interesting one. This is again back over on page 3. Macros, Lord of Excel, cast for 3 Selesnya. Legendary creature, Computer Virus. He's an X7, and he has auto sum. Macros, and that reads, Macros, Lord of Excel's power is equal to the sum of the power of other creatures you control.
Oh,
And he has sort A through Z. Tap it. As an additional cost for this ability, sacrifice a creature. Then organize your graveyard so that all the cards are in alphabetical order. You may then cast the first card alphabetically without paying its mana cost.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's kind of neat.
yeah, that's pretty good too.
There's so many.
There's so much text in some of these; it's terrifying.
Did you see Clippy Ascended?
But
He's on the second page.
I
He's
didn't yet. No.
5 white, black for a 4/9 legendary artifact construct with flying, trample, death touch, and tabulating.
tabulating.
Whenever Clippy Ascended deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices 1 column or 1 row, then loses life equal to the number of cells sacrificed.
That's phenomenal.
There's so many good puns.
There's a lot of good things. So go loadingreadyrun.com/forum. Find your way down to the Lurkat or the Tap Concede subforum and check out 4 pages of just insanity. Like there are just a lot of these.
I must be losing my mind.
We unfortunately can't possibly read through all of them, but definitely go check them out. There's a lot of really fun stuff there.
Oh my goodness me. Well, hey, we're gonna wrap it up for this week. Thank you guys for joining us on Tap Concede. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm loving the Cubelet idea.
I will post the list. Actually, I have a Google Doc that can be made public, and so
sweet.
people can refer to it as I make changes.
Nice. That sounds great.
We're gonna post that list if people want to check out.
Yeah, we're gonna.
How would they get to the forum group?
They would go to. Thank you. Weird off-camera, barely audible Kathleen. If you go to loadingreadyrun.com and then go to the forum from the top nav bar and then scroll all the way down to the Tap Concede subforum, you'll see a thread for this episode. Or if you're watching the video on loadingreadyrun.com, there's a button that says comments down there. So
It's over there.
it's
somewhere.
on that side.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So
We don't know.
anyway, thank you guys for watching, and 3 of us at least. We'll talk to you next time. And thanks, Craig, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.